Hi there, welcome to the Eclipse Golf Workshop. I thought I'd take a quick break from doing some repairs and builds to talk to you. Bear in mind that it is the Solheim Cup started today, very exciting. You've got some fantastic players out on show, players like Charlie Hull, Georgia Hall, Suzanne Pettersson, Lexi Thompson, Morgan Pressel, etc. And I just thought it'd be great to talk about the ladies and their swings. It's developed hugely over the years. I remember many moons ago, I was lucky enough to work on a couple of European ladies tour events, and I worked with Annika Sorenstam, for example. And I remember thinking, having worked with the men's side of things for quite a while, then comparing it with the ladies, the difference in the swings and how they swung, how the ladies maximised, in particular with their driving, their distance was really clear cut. I've got a little ping driver here to demonstrate with, which I thought was appropriate, bearing in mind it's the Solheim Cup. But the main difference was the angle of attack, the angle of approach, how the ladies, generally speaking, would catch the club, or catch the ball rather, much more on the upswing. Yeah? So as they approached the ball and impact, their club head, their driver, was actually catching the ball on the upswing. Okay, now obviously, you know, if you watch all the stats, there's loads of stats from TrackMan and things like that on the TV, and you can see, you know, there's a lot of players who catch the ball on the upswing, and there's a definite link between catching the ball on the upswing and maximising your ball speed, because we're not all able to drive it like, you know, Anne Van Dam. She's like 284 yards, I think, on average. Which is going to be a big help. I think the course at the PGA Centenary is about 6,500 yards, so it's going to be great to watch her bombing, you know, the ball down there. But we can't all swing as fast as Anne can, and there's other ways you can increase your distance, okay? And that's what we're talking about here. So catching the ball on the upswing helps to maximise ball speed. You'll find actually, in comparison to the men's tour, the ladies catch the ball much more on the up than the men do. Yeah, the men often are catching it even a little bit on the down, especially on the European tour. There are reasons for that, but nonetheless, the ladies are definitely maximising ball speed and therefore maximising potentially distance. The other way, or the other link to catching the ball on the upswing, is it helps you put that ball into that trajectory window that maximises both carry and distance. Okay, it's quite a small window, so you're trying to launch it on a certain degree of launch, depending on what your ball speed is, will dictate what that ideal launch angle is. It might be somewhere around about anything from 11 to 14 degrees in terms of how it launches. And then the spin, you want to make sure that as the ball takes off, it moves through the air on a forward momentum, but doesn't duck out too early. So the amount of spin you create, and yes, there is backspin on a driver, or on the shots hit by a driver, because that's what keeps it airborne, gives it aerodynamic lift. If you have too little spin, the ball dips out of the sky, hits the ground early, so you lose carry. It might roll a little bit further, but you lose carry. And then if you've got too much spin, the ball tends to balloon a little bit, flutter a little bit, and then drop and not roll. So you might get a few yards more carry, but you don't get the extra run. So you're looking, an optimum sort of window will probably lead, depending on the conditions, to about 25 yards of run. That will indicate that you're flighting the ball well. So I think that's the key thing to remember. It's easier said than done, and your club choice, your driver of choice in terms of its loft, in terms of the length, in terms of the shaft length and the shaft weight, making sure the grip is matching, all that definitely needs to match your swing. But if you're like most club golfers, you'll find that probably your swing with the driver is a little bit on the down, can be quite steep. That then becomes a glancing blow, the ball speed drops off, and you don't flight the ball. It tends to start a little bit low, tends to spin up a little bit high. So, you know, this is something to try. I'm not trying to teach you how to do it. I think it is easier said than done. But watch the Solheim Cup this week. Speak to your coach about it. Make sure your driver and equipment matches your swing speed, your tempo, your style. These are all things to think about. And yeah, see how it goes. All right. One of the things that can be difficult, if you start to try and catch it on the up, you might not do it in a technically proficient way, which is why you want to speak to your coach about it. Because if you try and catch it more on the upswing, often it becomes harder to control the club face angle, which is where dictates where the ball goes in terms of left and right. So you know, direction can go a little bit by the wayside. So be careful with it. But watch the ladies, watch the power. I mean, the power increases have improved immensely over the years. They hit it really hard, but watch the technique. It's efficient. They catch it on the upswing. They flight that ball through that window, and it's a joy to watch. And we could learn a lot from it. So enjoy the weekend. If you'd like to get all of my posts and videos, just join the free Facebook group below by clicking the link in the description box. But otherwise, have a great day and enjoy the event.